So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So this is our agenda for today. I'm going to talk about some general list basics that you should understand. And again, if some of this seems like it's new for you, feel free to ask questions. I'm happy to answer them for you. I'm going to give you some tips about sign-up forms and places to put them on your website and blog. I also will show you a quick demo on setting up a sign-up form in your VerticalResponse account. And then I will go over some list best practices to make sure your lists are the best that they can be. And then, as always, I have resources for you. We have tons and tons of materials for you to use in order to help you grow your mailing lists, and I have some for you. And as I said, Q&A at the end. So first of all, why should you be building an email list? And this is actually a question I get quite a lot, especially when I'm doing presentations or I'm in a trade show booth or something like that. You want to be able to send emails because your emails will help you to build a relationship with your customers. And that's something that will ultimately be to the benefit of your business. If your customers are thinking of your business when they need the products or services that you offer, then that's going to help you in the long run. And sending an email can help maintain a relationship with your customers. You have to continually build your mailing list. It's something that everybody who does email marketing has to do. People change their email addresses. A lot of people get emails at their work address, and so if they change jobs, then it's possible that you will need to get either a new address from them if they think about it, or you're going to need to replace them on your list. So constantly building your email list is something that's really important for you. There's a stat at the bottom of this slide. 28% of email addresses become unreachable within about a year. So that could be a good chunk of your list if you're not growing your list on an ongoing basis. One of the reasons that you need to build a mailing list versus purchasing one, because you can buy lists, is there's a couple of reasons. First of all, VerticalResponse and other ESPs like VR don't allow you to use a purchase list. That goes against our policies. For us, it can cause issues with delivery if you use a purchase list. For you, you do not know who those people are on that list. You don't know how interested they are in your business, your services. They certainly don't know who you are. So the chances are pretty slim that if you mail to a purchase list, the people at the other end would actually open your email. And you stand an excellent chance of having them mark your email as spam. Plus, a lot of people are going to know that they didn't sign up to get your email. And if they know that, they're going to be wondering why you bought their email address. And so you're starting behind trying to get this person to become a customer of yours. So while a purchase list might seem like an easy way to get started in email marketing, it's actually going to be a really difficult way for you to get started. So while growing your list might seem like the harder of the two choices, in the long run, you're going to have a much better list and a more engaged list, because that's really what you want. You want people on your mailing list who are interested in your business, your services, your products, whatever it is that you're sending to them in an email. You want them to be interested. You want them to open your email. You want them to click on links. And a purchase list just isn't going to do that for you. So once you do have people on your list, you need to make sure you're treating your mailing list with respect. You need to mail regularly. That way, the people on the list don't forget who you are, what you offer, or why they should be opening your email in the first place. So we would usually say mail at least once a month, just so that your business stays fresh in your customers' minds. You can mail more often than that if you have information to send to them and if you've established that type of mailing frequency. There is too much mailing though, so if you're mailing a lot or you suddenly change your mailing frequency and you see that your opens and clicks are dropping off, then you might want to revisit how often you're mailing. You want to make sure that you're sending the information that you promise at sign up. So a lot of times, and we're going to get into this a little bit later, on a sign up form, you will say how often you plan to send your email, or what content is going to be in that email. So you need to make sure you stick to that. People are signing up to get your email for the specific information they think that you're going to be sending to them. And if you're not sending that, then you're going to lose them. They will stop opening your email or they will unsubscribe. Also, be sure that you keep your email addresses private. A lot of people have a problem giving their email addresses because they're afraid that somebody is going to sell their addresses and then they're going to start getting a lot of spam. So just make sure you keep it private and that you don't share your list with anyone, and your subscribers will thank you. And the last tip on here is respect all unsubscribes. I know when somebody unsubscribes, it seems like the worst thing ever because now you've lost someone who's a potential customer or a customer. But, you know, people's interests change over time, and while they may have found your information valuable at one point, it may not be something that they need right now. And so you have to just let them go. You can't send an email to them after they've unsubscribed to ask them why they've unsubscribed. They have their reasons. You know, it's just something that's better to let them go than to have somebody complain that you're spamming them. So I'm going to go through some tips on sign-up forms. Some are where to put them, and some are what you should have on your sign-up form. So a sign-up form is a form that you can add on your website, on your blog. You can put it on your Facebook page where people can sign up to get your emails. And then the information collected from that form goes into a mailing list, and then you can send your emails to them. Sign-up forms are one of the easiest ways to grow your mailing lists because you can set this up, put your form on your website, and then you don't have to think about this for some time. And those people are just being added to your list every day that they're hitting your website. So as long as you're driving traffic to your website in a variety of ways, you can get people to sign up to be on your mailing list. So that's why we talk a lot about sign-up forms. They're very easy to set up. They're very easy to put on your site. And then growing your list becomes a no-brainer. You don't have to think so hard about this. So the first pro tip I have for you is make it easy to find. I have some examples later on, and I was looking for examples of sign-up forms, and I ran into this problem on some of the sites. I couldn't find the sign-up form, and I kept thinking, I know these people send out emails. Where is the sign-up form? So you want to make sure people can find it. If they're trying to sign up to be on your mailing list, you want them to be able to do it really easily. So don't make them search on various pages on your website. Don't make them scroll all the way to the bottom if that's where you've put it. You know, if it's really hard to find, most people are not going to make the effort to find it and to be on your mailing list. So you need your form to be in a place that your visitors to your site will be able to find it. And you can also kind of do a test on your homepage sometimes and see where people are hitting. And there's different tools out there that you can use to test that. But the easiest thing to do is make it somewhere near the top of your web page. And I do have some examples for you in a couple of slides. So that's the first tip, make it easy to find. The second tip, what does your subscriber get? So I talked about that as one of the things that you need to do for your list once you've built it is to send what you promise. So getting someone to sign up for your email, give you their email address, what is in it for them? That's the thing you have to think about that. Are they going to get special deals? Are they going to be the first to know about new products or services or sales that you're having? Are they going to find out about events that you're hosting first? Do they get coupons? Do they get tips? If you're a B2B and you have maybe a software product, your email might be a good way for them to get information on how to use your product. Or if you're a nonprofit, how to use your service or how to volunteer. Give them a reason to sign up to be on your mailing list. And then again, as I said, you have to follow through on this information. Make sure you're sending that to them. Otherwise, you could lose them. So pro tip number 3, and I think this is a pretty big one, making sure that you're sending the information that you've promised them at sign up is a way to keep people engaged in your email. But this is a way to get them to sign up in the first place. So people are pretty private. Think about the information you're willing to share with a completely total stranger or a company that you're not totally familiar with. How much information are you willing to part with to get an email? So for most people, that's going to be an email address, and they might be willing to give you a first name. But if you're asking for more information than that, you're going to find that it's difficult to get people to fill in your form. One of the things that most sign-up forms will require an email address to finish the sign-up process because, of course, you need an email address to send an email. The rest of the information should be optional. If you're collecting additional information, it should be optional so that people are more willing to fill in the form. If your form is really long, if you have first name, last name, birth date, address information, while it can be useful for segmenting your list and sending out targeted emails, it also can be a showstopper for the people who are filling out the form. That's a lot of information to be giving away all at one time before they've even seen your email. So usually I would recommend that you collect the least amount of information that you need. Obviously, you need an email address. I think a first name, sometimes a first name and a last name are the things that you really need to get somebody on your mailing list. Beyond that, it would be kind of extraneous information. If you need more data at some point, if you want to start creating lists based on geography, people who live in a certain part of the country, you want to target your emails to them, you can ask for that information later. You can have them fill out a survey or fill out a sign-up form again with additional information. But at the first go, you want to make this really easy and really painless for people to be added to your list. So only collect the data that you need and save the rest for later. So once you have a sign-up form, you need to put it somewhere. And these are some ideas of places that you can put your sign-up form. And for the most part, you have some options using a sign-up form. There's usually a link that you can share, or you can embed the form itself with some code into places on your website. So when you're looking at this slide where it says link or form, those are the two different options that you can use in these particular locations. So on your website or blog, you want to have it at the top of a sidebar if you have a bar like on the right or left side of your website, and I will show you an example of that in a minute. You can put just a link in there. If they click on the link, it will pop open a page where they can then fill in your form. That's the nice thing about the link. It's basically giving you a hosted form for you. It's like a hosted landing page almost. Not quite, but almost. So you don't actually have to embed a form someplace. You can just share a link and people can still sign up on your form. The advantage of having a website or a blog is that you can embed a form in there. And so then the people who hit your website or blog can see it's a form and they can fill in the information right there. You can try adding it into the top navigation bar. A lot of times, one of the places that I look for a sign-up form is in the Contact Us tab. So if you have a Contact Us page on your website, that would be an excellent place to put a form. I think a lot of people look for that. So if you don't have a sign-up form option in your top nav bar, you could add it to one of the tabs that you have there. Put it in the footer of your site. We have this, well, we did. I don't know if we do right this moment. We keep changing our website, but we have a sign-up form in the bottom of our website as well. In case somebody happens to come down there looking for information, they can sign up to be on the mailing list as well. You can add a tab on your Facebook page and you could embed your form. The other option is on social media, especially, you can use a link. You can just share the link in a post on your Facebook page, or you can tweet it and people can click on the link and sign up. Since Twitter doesn't allow you to embed anything, there isn't any like page that you could embed information. Twitter is an excellent place to use a link so that people can just click on that link and go sign up to be on your mailing list. You can add it in a blog post. Just use a link within the body of your blog. You could also include it in your email. Now, the people on your mailing list, if you're mailing through VerticalResponse, have to have opted in to receive your email before you can send to them. But that doesn't mean that they can't share your email with other people. So one of the things you can do is include it in your email, and people can click on the link in your email and go sign up to be on your list. So if a friend has forwarded the email to them, that makes it easy for them to be added to your list. The tricky thing about email programs is that some of them don't work with forms very well. So this option, you just need a link. So just have a link where people can go sign up in your email. Again, all your social sites share a link for people to sign up to be on your list. So those are some places that you can put a sign-up form. Basically, anywhere that you could put a link would be an excellent spot for your sign-up form. So wherever you can look and find a link or a place that you could embed code, those are great places for your sign-up form. So these are some examples, and these have some of the things that I talked about. So this one is in the right-hand column of this page. That was one of the things that I was talking about. It's near the top. This one, if you click on the link, it brings up a page where you fill in the information that they're collecting. So these guys collect a little bit more than just email and first name, but not too much more. And they give you information about what you're going to get. Receive the latest information on lung health and healthy air in your email. So that's what they're going to be sending, a newsletter about different things that they're participating in for lung health and healthy air. So they're upfront, and they have it really high up there on their webpage. Over on the left is the American Diabetes Association newsletter, and it says register for diabetes news, research, and food and fitness tips. Again, they're telling you right there the information that you're going to be getting when you sign up to be on the list. And this is the thing that you have to follow through on. So whatever you say you're going to include in your email, then you need to make sure you're putting that in there. Peak Parent Center has their mailing list sign up right at the top left of their website. That is one of the most trafficked parts of a website, the top left. At least in the US, everybody reads from left to right, and so that's why the top left is usually the most trafficked part. People will interact here, their eyes go there to start with, so they make it super easy to sign up to be on their mailing list. These are some B2B examples. So VerticalResponse, this is what ours says. We tell you exactly what it is that you're going to be getting. Email, social media, and small biz marketing tips. We have daily emails and weekly newsletters. So that information is available for you as well. You just enter your email address and you're done. The one on the right is Email on Acid. It says stay up to date on the most important email clients tips and tricks. Again, promising what the email is going to have, and they just ask for an email address to sign up. Some B2C, Off the Grid is here in San Francisco, and they are a food truck organizer. They have this right at the top of their website. So this is just the top navigation bar on their website, and it has all the tabs along the top, and right under those tabs is where you can sign up to be on their mailing list. So again, they make it super easy to find their sign up form. And then the one on the bottom is a retail shop, Cliché Noe. This is what it looks like after you click the link, but the link to sign up is in that left-hand sidebar. And you just click on the link, and they just ask for your name and your email address, and that's all the information they're collecting. Again, you want to have just a little bit of information, especially at the beginning, to make sure people don't feel like they're having to give away too much. So one thing to keep in mind is, should your sign-up form pop up or not? Boom. This particular sign-up form, it did exactly that. I was on this website and I was just kind of looking at some things and this suddenly popped up and I thought, ugh, annoying. And then I read it and I thought, okay, this is actually really funny. It's a really clever way to get people to sign up to be on your mailing list. And it worked for me, and I look at stuff like this all the time. So this would probably be pretty effective for people who don't have to look at these things every single day. But I really liked that it was really funny. It tells me exactly what they're going to be sending. And all you have to do is put in your email address and then the little pop-up goes away. So the thing about this is you have to think, are people going to be annoyed? I think we've moved past that time where every website had a million things popping up, which was so annoying. So I don't think pop-ups are quite as aggressive or annoying as they used to be a few years ago. And I think it's probably a pretty effective way to get people to know that you have a mailing list. This would require some software programs. There's various programs out there that will manage this for you if you decide that you want to do a pop-up. Most of them are fairly inexpensive. Some of them are very expensive. Just depends on your budget. But there are some different things out there that you can use to manage a pop-up on your website. So I would just say this is something that you could test if you wanted to see how effective it is for growing your list. And then, if you feel you're not getting a good growth on your list, you can certainly turn it off if you think maybe it's annoying people. But I think it's one of those things you could test and see how that works. Whoops. So let's take a look at, really quickly, how to set up a sign-up form in your VerticalResponse account. So in your VR account, under the Contacts tab are the sign-up forms. And they're pretty easy to do. You just click on the plus button and then name your form. And then you can create a new list or you can connect it to another list. This is one of my tips for sign-up form lists. I've worked at VR for a very long time, and I was in our customer support department for a while, and so I talked to a lot of our customers. And the one thing that I think people regret the most with their sign-up forms is if they don't put it on a separate mailing list. There will come a time, and you may not realize it right now, or you may not think that you will care about this, but I promise at some point you will want to see how effective your sign-up form is, how many people are signing up per day, per week, per month. And if you connect it to another mailing list, it's very difficult to see that information. So I always recommend that you create a new list to go with your sign-up form, and then you can look at that list and see how effective your sign-up form is being. When you go to send out your email, there's no limit to the number of lists that you mail to, so you just select your sign-up form list and any other list that you want to mail to, and then it's good to go. Or you can always move these people into different lists if you need to, but at least you have a really easy way to track the signups coming from your form. So I always recommend that you create a new list. Okay, so once you have set up your list, we have some templates that you can select from. So we have some kind of basic looking ones that will fit in with any kind of design. We also have some that go with some of the email templates that we have as well. The thing to note here is, I don't know why that didn't go blue. The nice templates that we have here with the pictures are only going to show up on the link. So if somebody clicks the link and then we have the pop-up that, or the page that opens up, they'll see this template. If it's embedded in your website, the template part's removed, so it just goes with your website. So over on the left-hand side, you can select the information that you want on your sign-up form. So you can add a company logo if you have one. I don't have one in there. I can upload one though. But you can see where you could add a company logo at the top so people know for sure that they're looking at the right sign-up form. And then you can control how many of these things you want. I don't know what the point of the subheadline is, so I take that off. And then you can just type in here. So I'm going to say have the name of my company, and you'll notice these are just text boxes. So over here on the right hand side, you can make whatever edits to the text. You can change the font, you can change the size, you can change the color. Anything you can do with a text editor you could do here. I'm not going to do that right now, but and then in this box I would usually recommend that you add the information that people need to get them to sign up on your list. So this would be a great place to add the information about what they're going to get when they sign up to be on your mailing list, how often you plan to mail, that kind of information. It doesn't have to be a lot of details if you don't want it to be, but I would definitely suggest that this is the place that you put that information. And I showed you a lot of those examples of sign-up forms from different companies where they say specifically what you're going to get. So this is an excellent place for that. And then down here we have a footer, and that is also one of the fields on here. This I would recommend that you just put in your business address, just like you were doing this at the bottom of your email. There's a couple reasons that I recommend doing this. First of all, I think it just helps your readers know where you're located, know that you're a legitimate business if they're not all that familiar with you. The other thing is, if you happen to be mailing to Canadians, the new Canadian anti-spam law, CASL, requires at sign up, if you're using a form like this, that there be a valid address for the company. So I think it's just a good habit to get into, that people know that they're signing up for a legitimate business. So just put your business address in there. And then over here on the left are all the fields you could add to your form. Again, I would recommend not adding too many, but you just select the ones you want and then they pop up in there. If everything looks good, you can click next. You can always come back in here and change let's see, we could change our template. We keep all the same information. If you want a different template, I kind of like the woods. You can, again, edit all your text so that it looks the way you want it to look, and then click next. And you can always go back and edit that even when your form is live. If you decide you need a different piece of information to be collected, you can always add that and it'll just automatically be updated when somebody signs up. So this is the thank you page, and you have two options on this page. First of all, once they hit the submit button, this will pop up and you can have this say whatever you want to. So you can let them know that they're going to need to click on the link in an email soon. You can let them know that you're going to be adding them to your mailing list and they should be expecting an email from you in a week or so, or however soon you're going to be sending out an email. Whatever information you think is important on this thank you page. It could be if they're signing up to be in an organization or they're joining a group, that you have more details excuse me, about your group or organization that they're signing up for. This could be a place that you add a coupon if you're offering a coupon or a discount to people who sign up to be on your mailing list. So you could add all kinds of information here. And again, you can take off some of these things if you want to. I don't know what the subheadline is for. I always take that one out. So again, fill in this information, and then this is the page they'll see once they submit. Your other option is you don't have to use our thank you page at all. You can just add your own URL. So I'm just going to put this in here. And what will happen in this case, instead of seeing the thank you page, they're going to go to the website that you put in. So you really only want to do this if you have a landing page created for people who've signed up. I would not recommend you just drop them at your website unless you've let them know that they're going to redirect to your website as soon as they sign up for a particular reason. I would send them to a specific page here so that they're getting the right information and the right kind of welcome to your mailing list. If you decide you don't want to have that and you've already set it up, you can just delete it and then edit your thank you page. On the next page is where you get to share it. So again, I gave you some examples earlier, and you get two options. You have this link that you can share wherever you want to put a link. Again, you can use a button in your email if you wanted to that says sign up for our list, and then have this link in there and people can sign up. Or If you have access to the HTML in your website, or you have a webmaster who can do that, you can add the HTML into your website HTML, and then you'll have a form. And you just click generate and copy this HTML, and then you can paste it into your website. It is HTML, so if you know HTML or your webmaster can help you, you can always edit this if you want to, but you need to make sure you don't lose the specific info that's sending the data back into your VR account. So basically what happens, we can view this form on the web. So basically what happens is that somebody will see this, they can sign up. When they hit sign up, they'll go into the mailing list. And now my address will be added to the mailing list, and I'll see the thank you page. So that's basically how it works. Now my address is on the list. So it's pretty easy to use, and again, even if you don't know HTML, you can create a pretty landing page basically for people to sign up, and all of this information will be collected in a mailing list that you can then mail to. So let's pop back over here. So just a couple more things about your lists. So these are some list building best practices. So you're on the right track if you have your sign-up forms in a prominent place that makes it easy for people to find and sign up, that you're giving people a really good reason to sign up, and that you're letting people know you're not selling their addresses. You're on the wrong track if you're buying a list of addresses, always a bad idea. Harvesting email addresses on websites in the internet, or selling or renting your customer database without letting them know, those kind of things, because that can be very bad. Most of this is VerticalResponse, and to be honest, other ESPs as well have these same rules about lists. So we don't allow you to use purchase lists or harvested addresses in our system. The CAN spam law says that you can mail to a purchase list, but you have to have an unsubscribe mechanism so people can be taken off your list. ESPs, email service providers, go above and beyond what the laws require for lists, so you need to make sure that you're in compliance with the rules for the company you're mailing through, and not just for the U.S. CAN spam law. If you're mailing to Canada or any European addresses, they have different laws, and those laws do not allow purchase addresses at all to be mailed to. So the U.S. is a little bit more lenient on the anti-spam laws. The rest of the world, well, not all of the world, but Europe and Canada have very strict rules about your addresses. So if you know that you're mailing to people outside of the U.S., I would just make sure that if you're in compliance with VR, then you will be in compliance with the rules that are out there. So that's just a little warning, but for the most part, I think most people build their lists in really good ways. They're mailing to customers that they have, and they're using good list building practices. But just so you know, there are a lot of rules out there about mailing to people, so make sure you're following those rules. So as I said, we have lots of resources. This page may not look like it, but there really are. Our blog is published every day, well, of the week, work week, so 5 days a week. And it's really about marketing for a small business or a medium-sized business. It's not about using our system at all. So if you're looking for tips on really anything but list growing, we always write blog posts about how to grow your list in different ways. We also have things on email marketing, social marketing. If you need some info on SEO or SEM, we have a lot of blog posts about that. So I would definitely recommend checking that out. Those resources are free, and there's a lot of information available there. We also have some guides, and most of them are on our website, but some of them are also on our blog, so that makes it easy if you go to our blog. One of the guides that would be helpful is called 50 Ways to Grow Your List, and if you go to our website and then click on the More button, you'll see where the guides are. 50 Ways to Grow Your List are 50 ideas to grow your list, and a sign-up form is just one of the 50. So there's a lot of different tips in there. 10 steps to build your email list the right way is just to make sure you're growing your list. That will help be in compliance with the laws out there, as well as will help ensure that the people on the list are engaged in what you're offering and what your business is offering.